I'm going to be talking about mental health, mental illness, and suicide awareness because they all go together. What is the difference between mental health versus mental illness? Mental health stays with you through the positive, negative. Uh, it's your well-being that allows you to cope with stress, learning our abilities, and working well in society. Mental illness affects the ability to function over a period of time, whether that's short or long. Mental illness also requires a doctor diagnosis. Let's look at some statistics of suicide. Around 720,000 people die by suicide each year. Between ages 15 to 29 years old, it is the third leading cause of death. 73% global suicides are reported from low to mid-class income. A person who tries a suicide attempt is more likely to try it again. Now let's look at some myths versus some facts involving suicides. Talking about suicide increases the chance of suicide, when in fact, talking about suicide can actually help reduce chances of suicide. Another one, attention seekers. In fact, someone that is suicidal has talked about wanting to die to someone before. They're not trying to seek attention. Another myth is suicide can't be prevented. On the other side of the fact is, while suicide is unpredictable, it is preventable with proper communication and treatments. Another one, suicide always occurs without warning. The fact is, there are warning signs there, ranging from obsessing about death, feeling trapped, isolating yourself, giving away your prized possessions. So here's some statistics about mental health and illnesses. Did you know depression can increase the risk of health problems such as diabetes, heart attack, heart diseases, and strokes? 1/5 of the adult population lives with a mental illness. 4% lives with a serious mental illness, according to American Psychiatric Association. What ages are affected? Well, from the time we're born and onward. Early child mental health is crucial because that's the time where we're learning how to associate with other people and learning how to cope with our emotions. And moving on to adolescence, 12 through 17, it's a crucial time for development, changing from physical, emotional, and social. Exposure to violence or something negative increases their likelihood of developing a mental disorder. Young adulthood, 18 to 26, called the transformational stage. Some work, some are in college, starting a family, and some of us are just trying to get financially secure. Who am I kidding? All of us is trying to get financially secure. And that causes stress, which leads into 27 to 64, middle adulthood, increase of stressing relating to jobs and relationships. And then older adulthood, 65 and beyond, life changes such as retiring, trying to cope with not being able to move like you once did, grieving loved ones that have went on their next journey, and loneliness. So causes of mental illness, it's not just one thing, it's like a multiple rainbow of different things, such as early life environment, genetic factors, drug alcohol usage, trauma and stress, and personality disorders are just a few. So here is some main group of mental disorders and risk factors of mental illnesses. Some of the risk factors, like I said, lack of employment, childhood abuse, violence, serious medical condition like cancer, brain injury, and substance abuse usage. And here's just a common range of group of mental disorders. Number one being depression, bipolar disorder, anxiety disorder ranging from general anxiety, dissociaphobia, OCD, personality disorders, which is ranging from cluster A, B, and C. Cluster A being paranoid, schizophrenia, cluster B, antisocial, narcissism, cluster C, avoidant, and dependence. And then you got eating disorders like anorexic, bulimia, and binge eating. And then you got trauma related, such as PTSD, and of course, there's substance abuse disorder. So here's an in-depth look at mental disorder. Number one, depression. It affects the way that we see the world, how we act. It can have a impact on our lives. And there are multiple different types of depression. There's not just depression, there's general depression, there's seasonal depression, and then there's the depression that's usually diagnosed by your therapist. Another common one is anxiety, which is intense, persistent worry, fear over everyday things. Panic attack, nervousness, exhaustion, your mind's always racing and it never shuts up. Another PTSD, intense feeling of panic related to trauma, like something triggers you and you tense up, freeze. Schizophrenia, impairment of reality and hallucinations, eating disorder, anorexia, often is actually found in adolescence and early childhood, linked to early deaths due to risk of their health and suicide. This reference is social. It's really like when a kid can't help. They don't think basic rights like we do, like social norms, age appropriation rules. Their brain literally can't help but act out. And then, of course, you got neurodevelopment disorder, behavioral disorder that shows during development period, motor, language, social functions, such as autism and Asperger's. Thank you, everyone, for listening in on my presentation. And here are just some key takeaways that you can help to prevent maybe suicide, or let's just start talking more about mental health in general analysis. First, be kind. You literally don't know what people are going through every day. Just a simple compliment can make someone's day. I am telling you from personal experience. Next, check up on your loved ones. Another one, reach out for help. It don't have to be professional help. Talk to your family member or friend, someone that you trust confidentially. Write down in a journal. I know it's very beneficial for me with my problems, but if that doesn't help you, draw, do art, music, whatever your hobby is. Seek out professional help. I know it's hard to seek out professional help. Trust me, I've been down that road, but it is very beneficial and you would be amazed. And if you're worried about, oh, I can't afford it, usually the therapist will work with you about a payment plan because they actually care about your mental health. And finally, just start talking more about mental health, research about it. And here are 2 links down below that I personally go to. www.inspire.com is actually a website not only dealing with depression, but cancer survivors and a whole other range of people that can relate to whatever you're going through or whatever you're battling. And another one is suicidepreventionnow.org, and it's just more in depth about the slideshow I presented. And some of my resources is www.cdc.gov, www.who.intel, and www.healthdirect.gov. Thank you guys for listening.